everyone, and welcome to Wild Moments brought to you by Explore.org. Did you like the way I slid in there?
That was brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, I saw it by mistake earlier, and I was like, "Ooh, I think I'm gonna slide in and impress everyone." I hope I impressed you, Kelly. Just make me
I'm,
feel so
I'm
much
deeply
better.
impressed. You always impress me, Trishali. No sliding entrances are in any way necessary to impress me deeply at all times.
Well, hi everyone. Welcome to Wild Moments brought to you by Explore.org, and we have Kelly in the house. I've missed Kelly. Haven't seen Kelly in a while. How are you doing?
I'm not doing too badly. I have some sort of t-shirt scenario on. I'm not sure exactly what print that's supposed to be. If it's supposed to be, could be a
Can I tell you
zebra. I think it's
what
probably
that
zebra.
was? When we were
Tell me.
chatting earlier before the show, we were doing checks,
Mm.
and I thought, oh, perhaps those are from your prison days when you were striking off the week's left.
Don't don't tell everyone. That's supposed to be our secret, Trish.
But I think that it looks like microscopic hairs, which I quite like.
I think it could be. I'm happy to go with that. Um,
Yeah.
Possibly a jungle sort of contrast theme thing, but or we could just go with zebra.
Let's go with zebra since we have a zebra clip right at the end, but we have three
I
more
believe
to get to
so.
before we get to zebras. And if this is the first time that you're joining us for Well Moments, welcome. Remember that we're live and interactive, so you can send through questions and comments, and you get to spend time with me and Kelly for the next half an hour, and we go through some really cool clips that we've had over the last week, and we get to discuss some interesting behavior. I haven't got any hellos coming through just yet,
Is no one saying
but
hello? That's sad. I would need to
nobody
know what
said
everyone's drinking. I live for this.
hello.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Zygote
Always
says namaste.
reliable.
Namaste to you too, Zygote. Always reliable, Zygote. Kelly, do you have anything to drink to accompany us today?
Well, do you want to hear a really boring story? Always. I bought my first one of these yesterday because I normally
Oh,
just drink out of like whatever I've been like refill drinks bottles, but apparently that's not good for you. So I was in the shop yesterday and I thought I need to drink more fluid. So I got one of these bottles. No, if it's branded, I apologize. That tells you how much you should be drinking. That's my boring story. So I've got water.
does it give you little motivational thingies
There's
as you go?
no, it just that's actually really demoralizing. It just says refill and repeat on here.
Oh, better
Not very
than that then.
motivational, but yeah, so I've got water.
I've got some sparkling water, all on the water today.
Cheeky.
Oh, it's spicy water, as my little cousins like to call it.
Okay.
Uh, Bridget says, hi, Kushala and Kelly. Hi, Bridget. Amber Coe says, wishing all happy Thursdays. These shows are always fun and informative. So thank you to everyone. Thank you, Amber Coe. You always send us a very grateful message, which is really lovely. Mr. H, UAE 87. Oh, today you have chocolate cake and red tea.
Ooh, more interesting than water.
I must confess, I had half a cupcake before this show started. I made cupcakes last night and then I iced them this morning, so they were just sitting there.
How many have you had? Honestly.
I've had one. I couldn't help myself last night when they came out of the oven. So I had half an uniced warm cupcake, and then this morning I had just now I had half an iced cupcake.
Wow, see, I'd have had like 6. That's why I don't bake.
Oh, the day is still young. Casper Ghost says, good Thursday, Trish and Kelly. And everyone from beautiful sunny Milwaukee, lemon tea today. Very nice. I like a lemon tea. Of course, Kauru has milk. You're always reliable with your milk. Jack De Boer, you say you're going to enjoy this one. Let us see. We have a very interesting clip to start us off with. We'll get into it in a moment. Just want to say that Dear NC says good morning from a grey and drizzly Seattle, and you're ready with your coffee. Well, we hope to bring some sunshine and warmth into your life. And April Owl says good morning from sunny Connecticut with your cherry iced tea, and you're happy to be here for the show. All right, let's get stuck in. Remember that Kelly and I, we don't see these clips beforehand. Unless there's something specific that needs to be identified, we don't get to see them. We just get, Kirst just tells us this place, this clip, but we don't get to see them. So let's head over to Vic Falls and have a look at a Marabou stork doing something very interesting.
I like Marabou storks.
Me too. I think that they're adorable.
I do. People are always like, ooh, and oh, they're ugly, but I think they've got character. They've got character and
Yes.
they've got some vibe about them.
I think it's also,
Oh, what
I mean, yeah, so I was focused on the stick, and now I'm looking at the two that are circling each other.
That's very specific, isn't it? I know the
Yeah.
other one's got a stick now. That's not, that doesn't feel like randomly walking in circles to me. That feels very deliberate.
Yes. And then it's sort of just dispersed after that. Oh, no,
Oh,
it's still kind of going.
we're back.
Yeah. I feel
Oh,
like I'm
look.
watching. What did you see?
It was all three of them. I thought they were going to do like a three.
Oh,
All three of them were going to walk round in a circle, but the other one wandered off. Oh, get out my circle.
it feels like I'm
I've got
watching
no idea what's
some
going
sort
on here.
of. Yeah, I was saying it looks like I'm watching some sort of absurdist play.
I'm sure
Trying to
there's
figure out
something going on here, but I, I don't know what it is. I mean, they're different.
Oh,
Are they all adult birds? Is that one at the back?
oh,
Oh, no.
the one that just grabbed the stick and the one at the back. Yeah, the one that's running away from the stick might be a juvenile. The one at the back as well, you can see it's a little more
Yeah.
drab.
Oh no, that's that grown up with that stick. This stick is mine. I wonder. I don't know what to concentrate on more. What the one with the stick is attempting, or I enjoyed that walking around in a circle thing.
Yeah,
Give me the stick.
but there's something
Maybe it's like a
very.
talking stick. Maybe it's the talking
Oh,
stick. Have you ever been in one of those situations where everyone wants to talk? We could probably do with talking sticks doing these sort of things. Only the person holding the stick is allowed to talk. Maybe this is like
yes.
only the one holding the stick is allowed to poop or something. I don't know.
But I mean, that rock has clearly seen some pretty poopy days.
Yes.
This
Taking
is.
the stick back up there.
I'm really, really. This is puzzling me.
Even, I mean, I've done loads of studying on animal behaviour, more companion animals than birds, but I can often sort of try and work something out as to what may or may not be happening. I hate it when they come back to us when we're like that looking at a clip.
Yes, it's all thinking.
Oh, my wrinkle. Yeah.
First
I don't know
thoughts.
what's happening there.
Yeah.
It didn't look like play to me.
Mm-mm. It looked ritualistic.
Hmm.
But at the same time, we know that Marabou storks are monogamous, even if they are
Mm-hmm.
colonial. Um, so I'm not sure if that's some kind of mating ritual because there were too many individuals involved in that ritual. And it seemed to be focused, or at least a part of it seemed to be focused on the stick but the stick wasn't being used for anything except to be brought back and put onto the rock.
There was a
So
lot going on there. It didn't look like, well, maybe it was play. If not play, then I often encourage people to work on enrichment with their animals, and enrichment can be sniffing or puzzles or whatever it is, just something to keep them occupied. Maybe it was just sort of some self-enrichment, turning it round and touching it. It felt interesting. It was something to do. I
I think that's a really good theory because also we saw that there were at least two sub-adults that were also
Yeah.
trying to have a go at the stick. So maybe it was a form of enrichment that the adults were doing for the sub-adults. That could definitely be
Or
it.
maybe it's like saying, watch the stick, kids, watch the stick, watch the toy, watch the toy. That's bold assumptions. I've got no idea.
No, that is very interesting. And the thing is, it doesn't. I'm not sure if two separate things were happening, whether the stick was one part of it and then the circling slow behavior was another part of it, or whether they were somehow related.
I just think, sorry, someone else just said they walk like vampire walking. Yeah, huge beaks and they're very serious, Helena G. But Karu has just said, I've been observing this behaviour from this one stork for several weeks. She is literally obsessed with sticks. I think it's the same bird each time. I think it's the same bird each day. It's got a stick. That that's really useful information. Um,
Yeah,
maybe maybe it just likes sticks. That's
because then that presents a much more plausible explanation, which is that one individual has become obsessed with the stick and just likes the stick for
yeah,
whatever reason.
yeah,
Where the more you work with animals, you get to know that they all do have different personalities, whether it's a
yeah,
lizard or a
absolutely.
squirrel, they have
Mm.
different things that they particularly like. And if this bird particularly likes the stick, that can translate to the other individuals that this thing is valuable and why can't I
Yes,
have it? So it doesn't matter what it is, it's just that another individual wants it exclusively for itself. So
yeah.
it must be useful or valuable.
Yeah, and maybe that's exactly what this bird's doing. As I say, I've seen it in pet dogs. Some pet dogs are happy to just chill and not do anything, but others they need enrichment. They need to think. They need to feel. They need to
Mm.
touch things. And I think that's exactly if that's really useful information there. I think that's probably what's going. It just likes it. It's enjoyable. It's pleasurable. It finds it interesting. So it's playing with a stick.
And now
Oh,
I'm
hold on, there's
also,
another one. Oh yeah, probably
but
because it's copy. Maybe copying.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, that maybe it's seen that the other individual is so interested in the stick. Maybe other sticks are as valuable
Mm,
as the stick that the one individual is protecting.
how interesting,
And
though.
I was also wondering when we saw the circling of the behavior, and we'll see it again just now, if that's a way that they size each other up.
It would make sense.
Hmm.
That's certainly. I mean, that's what many animals would do in threat displays or territoriality would be the same way of doing
Yeah.
it. Maybe it doesn't look like technically like play as we would assume it, but maybe it's more an enriching form of stimulation and a type of play.
Yeah, I think so. And as soon as intent or attention goes to a specific thing, then
Mm.
there's the assumption that it's a resource. And if we were talking about being, look at that, being territorial,
Give me my stick.
uh, yeah, exactly. If they're sizing each other up in this situation, which is unusual, you didn't think they'd size each other up over a stick. But
Mm.
if that stick somehow has a relationship around it that's associated with something that's valuable, something that could potentially be a resource, even if they don't know what it is, but something else is guarding it, like it's its territory. So I
Mm.
wonder if something in their brain clicks, hey, I want that too. And so then the
Of
other
course it
behaviors
does.
that,
Absolutely.
yeah, And the other behaviors that we see, like sizing each other up, just happen naturally as a result of either defending or trying to get a potential resource.
Yeah, I think that's probably 100% what's happening. He's got a stick, the others want the stick. Um,
Yeah.
and I think it's probably just enriching himself. It's just something that he enjoys doing. He,
Because
she.
also look how it keeps setting it down in certain ways and taking it in different places as well. I
Yeah.
think enrichment is spot on.
Or maybe it's practice. I can't sex those birds. I don't know
Go,
who is who,
go.
but maybe it's practicing stick maneuverability for when they nest.
That too, that could definitely be something. I mean, that
Dexterity,
didn't look
stick
out.
dexterity.
Yeah, I mean, we all need to learn a little bit of that. Somebody is Casey Wolves 94. You said nesting material or courtship? Not something that I've ever come across in terms of courtship, but like Kelly was saying, nesting material, marabou storks create platform nests out of sticks. So we would expect them to
Mm,
be collecting sticks. But we wouldn't expect them to be defending a specific stick and then placing it onto a rock and then continuously playing with it. But like you're saying, Kelly, it could be practice for future nesting behavior.
yeah,
Could be.
maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Isn't it? Isn't it? I think it's brilliant. We will never know, probably.
That was an amazing clip. Like, the discussion progressed really, like, we got to think out loud there. I like that clip.
Mm, yeah, me too.
Um, Kaoru, you say it loves the stick. This has happened more than a couple times. It can't be a mating thing. It's been more than a week. It never lets anyone take it. Yeah, exactly. So there we go. Potentially practice, enrichment, um, sort of pseudo value placed on the stick because another individual is possessive over it. So a lot potentially going on there.
Mm,
April Owl,
it's
enrichment
fascinating.
sounds very reasonable since new research has shown that many birds have complex brains. Yes, they
Yeah,
do.
they
And
do.
birds have complex in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways,
Mm,
from language and communication and syntax to play, they are very, very complex. And I'm glad
mm,
that new research continues to come out about those things. Anyway, Kelly and I have now spoken for about 20 minutes of our 30 minutes together. So how about we that was very, very cool though. It definitely needed that attention. Anyway, how about we head back over to Vic Falls and have a look at an elephant and his very concerned and caring friend. Okay. So we were told that the elephant has a swollen leg, and you can kind of see it.
because
Looks like
the
it's
way
the
it's
right
resting,
one.
yeah, I was going to say front right. Looks like there might be a wound or something at the back there, or
Mhm.
just see that little dark patch might be bleeding, or
Yeah,
maybe a bit of infection.
and not very keen to move it.
No, just resting it there. So that's two boys there, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's very nice.
Mm.
Putting the trunks on each other's head is quite an affectionate, um, physical or tactile behavior that we see, especially with calves.
It's
So
not.
it
That's why
does.
I was checking. That's it. there's two boys, and that's quite a, as you say, it's also quite trusting. It
Yes.
must show, someone above you. Normally, things going above things is a maybe a sign of dominance or whatever.
Mm.
So you have to be quite trusting and relaxed to allow a fellow sort of, oh wow, that leg is sore. Look,
Oh, that is quite a bad leg. Oh, shame. This is so wonderful. It really looks like he's confident. Oh,
see, how can anyone anywhere still think that animals don't have emotions? I don't
yeah.
understand how anyone could still believe that.
Oh,
That's an
see,
emotional, sensitive interaction. That you can see it.
absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, when we talk about any kind of studies that are, or attempting to study anything that is subjective, it's
Mm,
impossible because we are a totally different species. And so when we think of
yeah,
things being experiencing and expressing emotion, it's very hard for humans to think outside of what we know as expressing and experiencing emotion, which
mm,
by definition can't be the same as any other animals because it's completely subjective and it varies even from individual human to individual human.
yeah,
But there is connection there, and how they are able to express it is completely dependent on that species. But if you look at that
yes.
interaction, it is
Like
it is clear that,
visually.
yeah, it's clear that there is a connection. Yes, we don't know what
Mm,
exactly is happening between them, but there is something there, whether we can
yeah,
define it or
I
not.
agree. Even if you'd never seen an elephant, even if you're an alien that came from wherever and you'd never seen an elephant in your life, you'd know there was something, some connection there, I suppose.
Yeah. And what do you think about the injury?
It's difficult to say from that clip. It could have been from humans. It could have been in a fight. It could have been potentially bitten by a snake. Unlikely, but it's very it could have fallen and caught it on a rock. I think it's
Yeah.
very difficult to. What would you say? It's
It's
hard.
um it was also, it is very difficult, but it's very small, that injury. But it's obvious. I've seen elephants with injuries like that that are even larger, but they're not limping on it. So for me, it looks like there's a small injury, but an infection has taken hold. Because the
Yeah,
injury, like,
which could be the leaking.
yeah, because I mean, I've seen elephants with injuries and they just continue. And they're not superficial, they're pretty deep and they're quite big, but they're not limping as badly as that individual was. So I would say
Mm,
infection has gotten in there, but how the initial injury happened, we can, it's basically impossible to tell unless you saw it happen.
mm. No, I agree.
Jack de Boer, you say that is cool. That was cool. Kaoru, you say that's so cute. It is very, very sweet. All right, let's head across in our last 5 minutes, head across to Jabulani and have a look at a duiker, which apparently has gotten a bit of concern from all of you. Oh, hello, little one. It's hard to tell
See,
size.
I was just about to say I can't tell how big that is because there's nothing next to
Yeah,
it.
it just looks
I think I
cuter if I can say.
yeah,
So I'm,
and almost
yeah,
maybe fluffier. This is us doing
yeah.
science, Trish. It looks cuter and fluffier. How do you age animals? We see how cute and fluffy they are.
Yeah, we're doing science, everyone. This is what our science degrees are for.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look
Um,
young though.
it does. It is by, I mean, common duikers, or as they were previously known, grey duikers, um, they suffer from something that common animals suffer from quite a lot, which is the fact that we don't know a whole lot about them because they are
mm,
so common that they tend to be overlooked after you go past the basics. They tend to be overlooked. And I know that duikers, or common duikers specifically, they grow pretty fast. I think they mature by about 8 or so. They're weaned at 2 months. The
mm.
thing is, I don't know what an 8-month-old duiker looks like because you can't tell
But
that
this,
out in the
what's making me think there may be something going on. Duikers don't normally do this at water,
No.
do
Yeah,
they?
you're right.
They'll normally go drink and leave.
Yeah.
So that could be telling me that it is inexperienced, it is young. No one, no, ugh, who wants to, apart from hippos, who wants to hang around at water unnecessarily? Most of these
No.
antelopes, they get in. It's not a safe place to be. They get in, they drink, and they leave. So that is
Yeah.
telling me that there may be a bit of inexperience here. Um,
No, I
and
think that's a good
it could well be that mamas. I tell you something I noticed was, I don't know if you've ever noticed it, Trish. Leopards eat a lot of duikers. The amount of duikers I've seen in trees or being killed compared to the amount of parlors I've seen in trees and being killed, compared to how many of them there are, I see a lot of impalas, but I see
Mm,
much fewer duikers. And yeah, there's not quite as high a percentage. Um, but it feels like leopards do kill a lot of duikers in relation to how many are available. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah. And I think that has a lot to do with strategy. Leopards are hanging
Mm,
around
I agree.
dense, densely covered areas, and so are duikers.
Yeah.
And duikers are going to freeze at first before they hop away. And that freeze is just enough for an ambush predator to get it. And I suppose if you're already
Mm,
occupying a similar kind of habitat, the odds of a leopard just happening to come across a duiker in its dense habitat is greater than if it
mm.
were to seek out an open area to find an
No,
impala.
absolutely. So
Mm,
maybe it could be that there's been a mishap with mum,
yeah,
um, and maybe that little daycare is struggling on its own, or it could be that we misjudged its size, and it's going to be absolutely fine.
we hope so. But I think that you're right. The
Okay.
behavior hanging around a waterhole, it's open, duikers like densely covered areas. It seems to be unsure about what it wants to do and its purpose of being there.
Mm,
Definitely inexperience, or perhaps it was thrusted into this inexperience because its mother met the unfortunate demise of a leopard. Don't
mm.
know,
But
but
I'm sure it'll be fine.
well, luckily, you all get to get to watch the cameras. I mean, that's a pretty noticeable duiker. If it comes around the water hole
Mm,
again, I'm sure that you'll pick up on it. You can see its coloration. It's pretty noticeable. It's like the
yeah.
scientist said, fluffy and cute. So you get to you get to notice it.
But
Uh,
watch
and
for
and
that
I
cute fluffy daycare.
exactly. Well, we're out of time now, but I thought that was a really, really wonderful show. We had some really interesting discussions. I think the Marabou
Mm,
stork clip was just phenomenal. Never seen that type
yeah.
of behavior. It got us really
No.
thinking about the reasons for it, and I think we arrived at a pretty confusing yet um, probable or possible reason. But
Yeah.
we got there anyway. Well, all we can do is continue to watch the cameras and continue to learn and think. So thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you, Kelly. We hope to see you soon again
It's a
in South
pleasure.
Africa, please.
Yes, in South Africa. Next time soon.
Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.